Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, game two, June 9th. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough. And gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. File not found. We did not win that money. It was a very frustrating game. It's one of those games where I feel like the majority of the calls went well. And speaking of, no complaints about the refs. It was fine. I mean, like that was not who decided the game. That's always what you want to see. Good job. That was like Zarba. I'm gonna remember you guys. Good work. But I do want to say, oh man, what are the stats keepers doing, man? Is that I'm not. This is Maxi Kleber's steal. They had it, and then they changed it to Kyrie, who saved the ball from going out of bounds after Maxi Kleber made the steal and directed it to him. I just don't know what was going on here, and am very frustrated about this still. Nonetheless, congratulations to the winners. Yeah, it was I hope the second game is more competitive, shall we say. And let's just say like I hope Dallas shakes it up. Now, I also don't think they're going to change the starting lineup, but yeah, oh, as always, we are sponsored by PredictionStrike. Use promo code PhD to get a 100% or not 100, get a deposit bonus, their best deposit match deal. Jamario's giving great advice. If I just followed his advice, I'd make more money than, I'm always like, oh yeah, I like Rose, whoever it was, Rose, Rayanne. Split decision, of course. I don't look up the narratives. I don't know this lady from India is going to be amazing marketing for Dana. Dana is, man, I wish he was like not as good at business as he is. Because anyway, there's a lot of guys who I don't like, in certain ways, and I can just dismiss them. But can't do that with him. He's actually done a thing. Okay, now it did lose me money yesterday, but at the same time, it's a business. It's wild. The UFC thing is interesting. Yeah. Do we have anybody win any? Let me check. I think actually no. Was that our Discord? We got a few pretty fun MMA Discords. Cody did well. I actually did. So after I had a terrible first couple of whatever matches, I had some Soriano, I had some Rosas, so I had all the pieces you needed. I'm glad there were some interesting fights. Oh yeah, okay. I can just talk about basketball. So we had game one, and we can look at the plus minus, we can look at the popcorn machine. I looked at it earlier. Things to notice. Number one, Maxi Kleber, always part of the plan. Number two, pretty quickly, right here in the first quarter with 4 minutes left, playing the five. So that's great. That's the small ball five. That's the 1, 2, 3 we're talking about with Lively. And I don't know, Gafford, they went completely away from him in the fourth. He was only there for like they did his first stint was to the 5 minute mark. His second stint was to the 8 and 45 mark. They like when a team has a plan for you and it's working, that's when it looks bad, right? Like that's when you got to change it. It's not plus minus whatever. I'm always yelling at people about not being single game plus minus people. That's literally the worst kind of coach. Just like the ego fight ref is the worst kind of ref. The coach that looks at like 1 - 19, who is this? Let's get this guy out of there. Kyrie Irving out of the game. Like that's just not how you make decisions. You have to see what's going on. What's the cause of the minus? And the cause of the minus is he's getting stuck in pick and rolls with Gafford. Like it's just whatever kind of def. I mean, he's just an open sore. Like they don't have number one. That wasn't even Porzingis. This is Al Horford lighting him up. Jeez, man. I mean, like, oh, that's terrible. Okay, you got to get him out of there, man. It's understandable against Porzingis, but against Al Horford lighting him up. Look at this. Al Horford played the entire second quarter. What? They got 2 rebounds and 1 assist. So stinks. I mean, stinks for you guys who played him, who won all the money. But that second quarter stint must have been pretty frustrating. 2 rebounds, like these played the whole thing. Okay, let me make sure I got enough Al Horford projections now that I've seen that. That is an outrageous number of minutes. They're projecting him for 27. Oh yeah, they lowered it by 3. I remember this from earlier, and earlier I was willing to say, yeah, maybe Porzingis gets a few more, not at the expense of Al Horford. He played incredibly, man. That was okay. I mean, they don't. He not much is asked of him in this offense as a result of. Yeah, that's the thing. He needs to be part of this Dallas rule, right? Because if no, we're still building lineups as you can see over here. Oh, let me show you my rule. I did change it. I did change it. A little bit scatterbrained here. Good to be back. So I got two new rules. Number one, PJ Washington's minutes incredibly secure. Did you see he plays the exact same number of minutes as like Kyrie and Luka now? So yeah, you need to I mean, if they keep it close, it's because of him. Then you got the Kleber small ball. That's not new. But then Gafford or THJ. So people, who was it? On the MMA, KPR was asking me, okay, so is my THJ take the same? Because I saw game one, I saw he kind of got in there in that third quarter, kind of didn't exactly hit it. He took one shot and didn't make it. But who else do they got, right? I mean, so the situation may be the same for some reason where they might be behind and they may need a guy to take shots. So who is the guy? Obviously, it's Kyrie, it's PJ, but let's say just like the last game, they can guard Kyrie. I guess it could be Dante Exum. I mean, I guess he needs to be part of a rule because he's fine. I mean, like, I'm not saying that I don't. It's like maybe it's Hardy probably, right? Uh, so you got these guys in a group here. Gafford or THJ. Yeah, let me expand this rule and I'll rerun the thing later with to include all these guys. Hardy and oh wait, no. I'll make that a separate rule. Yeah, I'll make this a separate rule with like shooting guards for Dallas. I probably have that rule somewhere, but I'm not gonna find it. I should at the end of the year delete all your rules. It just gets so gross over there. And the teams are different next year, so don't use the same rules until you know that they apply. Okay, so and yeah, the guy what's his name in the recent video, you guys should always watch your SaberSim update videos. Jordan says that the new, implementation, got to make sure that you're not cutting out game sims that are properly correlated just because of rules that you brought in. And I think that was just a standard, maybe you're new to this software or whatever, but no, but this is a rotation thing. So the rotation thing is, and these aren't pieces like they don't have a history of this. This is when they go small ball with this specific lineup. I mean, there's not that many times that's happened. So the rules is Hardy, Hardaway, THJ is what we call him. Tim Hardaway Jr. is what that stands for in case you are here and don't watch that much basketball. Exum, and who's the third? Hardy, he's already in there. Hardaway, is Josh Green part of this rule? Who else? I mean, like, are these guys on the roster? Nobody else could possibly play in a playoff game. God. Is it Markieff Morris? Oh God. Is he on the playoff roster for the Mavs? I can't. Oh, if you hear my insides grating against me, that's because I have recommended to you to play Markieff Morris, and I'm not sure he's on the playoff roster. Markieff Morris, playoff roster. Is he? I don't know. It's not in the news. Why isn't Markieff Morris playing? I don't think anybody's asked that on the internet in a while. Marcus. So, oh yeah, I guess I can just look up more specific. Who's playoff roster? The Mavs playoff roster. So yeah, You asked me, hey, are you still on Tim Hardaway Jr.? Hey, buddy, I've got an here. Have you heard of? Have you heard of? Oh, is he on there? Markieff Morris. I really don't want to tell you to play Markieff Morris, but I don't know, man. Ah, he probably didn't even get in there in garbage time, right? Yeah, he wasn't even Dwight Powell. That's who I should tell you to play. But they don't need Dwight Powell like in regular time. The guy they actually need like to take shots and be standing in the corner and I don't know, like knocking down Porzingis. And they play God. Ah, man, Markieff Morris is stupid. I hate that I'm putting Markieff Morris in this player pool, but I am, man. It's like kind of within. It's definitely in the range of outcomes that Markieff Morris gets like, I don't know, a smattering of minutes and covers value at the min price. And that's really funny to me. But okay, so is he the guy I meant to have in this rule? That can't possibly be true. It can't possibly be true. Is it? I think it is. It's hilarious. Sorry, I made myself laugh too hard because I'm recommending to you to play Markieff Morris today. And yeah, I mean, like, oh, obviously, I don't have like as much on the line today as I did last time, so this frees me up to enjoy myself a bit more um, here with my whatever couple $100 as opposed to $2,500 from last time where I played too conservative and lost, and that's a lesson to us all. Also, I had a lot of wrong ideas. No more than one primary player amongst this weird group of Hardy, PHA, Exum, and Markieff Morris. Where's Exum? He's like a regular player. Okay, here we go. Yeah, because I guess I should put Exum to be like a reasonable number. Let's put all these guys at like 7.5. And Hardy, like, he smashes. He's like a garbage time smash case. So I put him up at like 10 because he's like actually going to play. Okay, so then he's going to play either way. You know what I mean? Okay. None of these guys are smash values, but they're all like viable, complete punts to get yourself. And you don't need to put captain like that. That's not what we're talking about here. Don't be captaining these weirdos. So, okay. But you do need to consider that in the rule. That's why I bring it up. Okay. I've mentioned all of the rules. Now, okay, the thing started building. Obviously, I'm going to rebuild this later because, yeah, it's a thing that I've changed some of the rules, added a rule, whatever. Let's look at exposures. Hey, big surprise. Went through a big old rigmarole, looked at all the, I ran the numbers, and play Luka captain a lot. You know, I'm still fading him a little bit here, but don't full fade Luka captain. He's very, very good. He's probably going to get, I mean, like, did they do what I said, or did they do what JJ and LeBron thought they would do? Did they blitz Luka because he's oh so good and LeBron's like ego would make him think, yeah, that's what we do? No. They let him get his. And then they like and then they threatened it. They were like, okay, pass it to your bad shooters above the 3-point line, very far away from the basket, like Derrick Jones Jr. But doing that to PJ Washington, that could really bite them. So, you know, I'm big. I should be. Yeah. What do I got? I'm positive leverage on PJ Washington. Exactly right. Positive leverage on Maxi Kleber in the captain, and I assume like a ton of him in the flex. Yeah, ton of him in the flex. Absolutely. Some Gafford. Okay. I mean, I've nerfed him pretty significantly. Might take him out of the player pool just because I feel like I wanted to play a little bit to cover my under bets, but I don't, and also because I think Mazzulla is a better planner than he is a reactor. And so if I were Jason Kidd, I would not change my starting lineup, but I would sub Gafford out after a minute and a half, Jonte Porter style or whatever, you know, like to cover my unders. But also because it's legitimately a good coaching thing to do. In this case, because then Mazzulla's like, oh gosh. And like, what do I do? Does he bring Porzingis in too early and nobody's ready? Or I mean, I don't know. Is he ready for it? Are they even planning for it right now? Probably. I mean, are they planning for Markieff Morris? So, okay. I've clearly made my jokes about Markieff Morris, who is an exceptional millionaire basketball player, obviously, you know, like, hey, really, like, he could win somebody $250,000 today, you know, like it's always weird when that's more than their salary for the game. You know, it's probably not true for him, but it is in women's basketball for some of these events. Like next week with like that $333 tournament. Man, some of us probably know WNBA players, right? I don't, but the dudes in my Discord are always like, I'm, you know, high school friends with whoever, you know, send them a weird threatening text before the game. Don't do that, guys. Things get so weird in the WNBA. Leave these ladies alone. And if you're not prepared to enjoy people who are better than the, like, number one, Caitlin Clark, not a lock for Rookie of the Year. Angel's doing well. Cam's doing well. Like, she's got to have a few more games like yesterday. Yesterday was amazing, but it was amazing because she started playing like someone who's bringing her teammates into the game, which opened up the floor for her, also against a bad team. So anyway, but, you know, we'll see like 20 more of those games, like every other really good star in the league has. Anyway, she's unremarkable. I haven't watched college basketball, and I do watch a lot of the dub. And you guys should join the Discord to talk about the WNBA. I love talking about the WNBA in there, and I know that it's just turning people off the main feed. So I try to keep it to it as a minimum. And yeah, you guys are thinking, oh, that's a minimum. That's like a zillion% of what you're doing. Okay. No surprise with the rules and the change and like all the yeah. This is much ado about two things. You're gonna play Luka, Kyrie, you know, it's a lot of Josh Green. Josh Green, so that was one thing I noticed is Josh Green was not part of this third quarter rotation that made the 20-6 run or whatever, the huge Dallas run, which I mean, both, what do you talk about in both locker rooms afterwards? You try to, what do we do there? Let's do more of that. And that was Lively, that was a little Kleber, right? No, Kleber came in and ended. No, he was a little Kleber at the end of the run. So, yeah, a little. It was all parts. Yeah, that's the problem. It was every part of their rotation was part of that run. So good luck. I just don't feel. I don't feel Josh Green. Like his upside feels like Hauser in the last game. You know what I mean? Probably was off and white. And I don't remember what the exact money lineup was, but 30%, Josh Green, bleh, like I'll match the field. I'll match the field. I'll be conservative, but I don't want to have I don't want to be over the field on Josh Green. I don't think he's gonna win anybody a championship or whatever, $250,000. Derek Jones Jr. on the other hand, if he's only 20% owned, when everybody knows like they would prefer that he hit shots and play the whole game or whatever, but he's just like not hitting shots at all. He was a 1 for 3 and then no, 1 for 1. He's just not taking shots. But yeah, Derek Jones Jr. played 28.8 minutes and didn't get a rotation here at the end. He probably would have played another 5 or 6. Um, so 34 minutes from him. What are we projecting him for? Yeah, 32.6. That's fine. I'm fine being overweight Derek Jones Jr. All right, I talked about everybody in this game, giving you my general guesses, let's say. I'm gonna rerun it right now just so I remember that I have not rerun this. Um, and remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be